Greetings! Welcome to the devlog for Alpha 3 of Update 96 of Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. We're going to start off as always with a quick sound check. Make sure your speakers aren't up too high. Wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, usually, I typically only do sort of like devlog update in terms of the order of things, but as we are both approaching the Meatmas season and the fact that I really want to get these streamlined controls tuned, I've accelerated my release schedule back to weekly so that I can get various sorts of fixes and tuning in for you folks. And because I know that's a pain in the butt to download and that isn't very exciting, I do have a new toy for you folks this week, courtesy of Sergey. That's right, finally we have a Draco AK. Quite possibly, honestly, I got to fire one of these once, and it was one of the more dangerous things, for dangerous feeling things, I think I've ever fired. And my accuracy with it was about that bad. The thing about a Draco is, in real life, it's so heavy and so dense, and I think actually the one that I fired had a way less ergonomic front grip than this. It was one of the sort of straight ones, and so without a stock and that hard butt plate, and it being so heavy and having such a kick, it doesn't feel like there's any way for you to hold it that feels like you have control over it, which is why it's perfect to enjoy in VR. Let's actually try to hit something with it. But it really likes to go. There we go. Not too bad. So yeah, so this little puppy is in here. A lot of damage in a small form factor, and honestly, super fun to customize. So I've got another one on the side here. If you want to pop this sucker with an adapter, a drum, a brake for a little more control, and it does have a stock attach point. As you can see here, you can have this incredibly compact form factor, tactical AK, which is just a blast to use. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Thanks again to Sergey for this little piece. Far too much fun. You are now at the top of the list of things that I take on runs with me. So yeah, so I don't really have much else to show you in VR, so I'm going to go ahead and jump out right now because I need to talk about the one other quick thing that I wanted to show you is anyone who's been playing around with Streamlined controls knows that there is currently no way to edit the settings on a scope because that panel is complex and it requires a bunch of buttons to navigate. The way it now works for Streamlined controls is that you grab the scope, hit your B button, and that will toggle on the menu. You don't have to keep the scope grabbed to have it, and then you simply point at the menu with your other controller and can use it to change your various settings. So, and this functionality, yeah, that should beautiful. And to close it, I just hit the B button again with the scoped grab. So that was one of the big changes that is in this week. So, other stuff that is in this update that is super important. One, there is now support in this alpha for the HP Reverb 2. The binding's in, the controller geo is in. It basically is the exact same control scheme that you would expect for, a Rift CV1, a Rift S, a Quest, etc. And so that should just work automatically for you folks. And I do recommend any of you users jumping in, although all of the tutorial information on what the controls will be won't be helpful to you, but I definitely recommend you try out the Streamlined control scheme, precisely because it's being designed for controllers that have 2 buttons and a joystick, which is what the G2 controllers have. Other changes, I did make it so that hitting the B/Y button will release the slide on any handgun if the slide is currently locked back. If the slide isn't locked back, it will cycle the safety or fire selector on it. after much request. I showed you the toggling the visibility of the scopes menu. I fixed a couple bugs like toggling open the attachable brake actions, also detached the attachment from the gun, a little inconvenient. I fixed a bunch of assorted sort of input leaking issues. There's still a couple little glitches with it that I still need to work out, but it is mostly together. I still have to finish the menu for all of the red dots and reflex sites, and that's both for Streamlined and not. I need to migrate some stuff over from scopes, and I just haven't gotten to it. But that is mainly what this alpha is about. Those of you who are using the Streamlined controls, please continue to test with it, and let me know if you find any other weird corner cases or problems with it. As I've said in the past, I had to change code in like 120 places in the game because each object type in H3's codebase is sort of responsible for its own implementation of controls, which is what results in a bunch of the subtle nuance and differences between them, but it makes doing something like this very error prone. It's very fragile code. So yeah, so that is about it in terms of other stuff that is coming up. The current plan is to release the final version of Update 96 next Friday, the 27th, so we'll come off of the alpha branch at that moment. Then, on December 1st, a new branch will appear in that drop-down menu called Meatmas. That will be the beginning of the Meatmas season. I'll explain more about it with like diagrams and everything next week, but just so you folks know that the focus for basically until Meatmas starts is I'm working on all of that content for it and making sure our Streamlined control system is all buttoned up and ready to work for next Friday. So yeah. So anywho, hope you enjoy the new toy. Hello and welcome to the few HB Reverb 2 folks who are fortunate enough to have already received their headsets. Apparently most of them are shipping more at the beginning of December. But anywho, welcome to the community, and yeah, I'll see y'all soon. Peace.